Well, good morning from Idaho. Another cool morning out here. Don't know when we'll be able to do a few things that I want to do on the suspension. I want to take off the tires and get new tires put on this. Tires are 7 years old, so it's time for them to get replaced. Grease the wheel bearings, inspect them, clean them, inspect the suspension system, take care of all that. And we'll get to it, but it's got to warm up a little bit. It's a pretty morning here in Idaho. It's about 29 degrees right now and no wind right now, which is nice. And what I want to talk to you about in this video is taking care of those expensive RV tires. And if you notice on this Alpine, I have these white covers. They've been on there for 7 years. And you can see that they're starting to show a little bit of age. This one's weather cracked a little bit, a little dirt and dust and stuff, but they're heavy duty, and they've got bungee straps on them right here that wrap around the back side of the tires, keep them in place. And we had winds here yesterday that were 35 miles an hour. And as you can see, the tire covers are still in place. On the driver's side of the Alpine, when we're parked at home, I'm fortunate enough to have a giant blue spruce tree that you can see here that shades the Alpine pretty much on the driver's side. So these two tires don't take a lot of beating, and neither does the sidewalls and such on the RV. Conversely, on the passenger side, we get all of the afternoon sun, the west facing sun, and this side of the Alpine takes a beating when stored here at the house. And you can see we have these nice heavy duty vinyl wheel covers on here. And what these wheel covers do is, one, it keeps everything clean. It keeps the wheels and stuff looking nice. But the most important thing it does is it protects those tires from UV, ultraviolet exposure from the sun. I'll remove one of these covers here in just a minute on the west side so that you can see what these 7-year-old tires look like. We'll look real close at the side walls, and we'll look at the tread too. Now these tires have, like I said, they've been on here for 7 years, and they've got about 38,000 miles on them, which is longer than I would normally run tires, but these are 14-ply G-rated tires, and they've been very, very good. I've had no issues with them, and you'll see when I take these covers off that these tires look almost as good as the day that I put them on. And so some would say, well, why don't you just run them another year? And my answer to that is, well, I'd rather spend $1,000 on a set of new tires than seems like everybody wants to drive by this morning. Got RC Willie's coming by and all these other places. Hang on a minute. Well, now that everybody's gotten all their morning furniture delivered and everything, we'll get back to the subject at hand. But I would rather replace these tires now. Could they make the trips that we're going to make this year with the Alpine? Yeah, I'm sure that they would. Our planned trips this year to Yellowstone and back twice. And that's about 750 miles round trip, and we'll be going in May, which it won't be real hot here yet, and we'll be going in September, which of course won't be hot. So temperature wise, the tires aren't going to take a beating from road heat and such, but they are 7 years old, and I'd rather replace them than have to replace all this J molding and the underbelly and Lord knows what else if one of these tires was to blow. So I've removed one of these covers, and you can see it's weather cracked a little bit, and I've hit it with a weed eater a little bit. You can see on the inside it's kind of got a nice, I don't know, some kind of a cloth covering, and a nice pocket that holds the tire and holds the cover on. And if you look at these tires and the wheels, they've been sitting here since the 28th of October, which was the last trip we took out. And so overall, the wheel is not very dirty and dusty, and the tire is not got mud and crap all over it. We've had snow and we've had wind, we've had dust storms, we've had everything else. So the tires are in good shape, and we'll take a look. You can see these are the Geostars that I got from Les Schwab, G574s. They're 14 ply tires. Put them on and I've had real good success with these tires. And yes, the tires are made in China, which I could care less about where they're made at. I'm more concerned with the performance of the tires. And this is what all the local guys here use on their horse trailers, and the tires have taken they take a beating with those cowboys hauling them horses, and so I figured they'd be good for the Alpine, and they've done well. We'll look at the tread that's left on these tires, and if you look at the tread that's left on these tires, there is a lot of tread left. We have a little bit of smoothness on the inside rib and a little bit on the outside. It's back the camera up where you can get a better view. It's equal smoothness here and equal smoothness here, and when I run my hand across this tire, there's no feathering, there's no cupping, there's no cracking, so it's been wearing evenly, and that tells me a couple of things. Number one, that I'm running the right air pressure, I'm towing at the right speed, which I tow at 62 miles an hour, and it tells me that my suspension system is in excellent shape. The camber on the axles is good, and the tow in and tow out is good. And so now I'm going to put this camera as close as I can to the sidewall on it and keep a good focus on it. And we'll just kind of take a look-see at this sidewall on this tire. And there is absolutely zero evidence of cracking. You know, that's about as close as I can get to the tire to show you the condition. And after 7 years, I am very pleased with everything that I see with these tires, and with the condition of the sidewalls, and with the condition of the tread line where it's molded in up here to the sidewall. I see no evidence anywhere of any cracking, anything to be concerned about. I was looking at that spot right there, but it's just a blim or something in the molding. That's still got the crap on it from the mold when the tire was made, so it's not a crack. You'll see about the same thing right here. So hopefully this gives you an idea of what your tires should look like and what they will look like if you keep them covered and protected. You'll also notice that these tires aren't nice and black and shiny. I don't use any of these so-called tire dressings, tire shine, tire black, 303 protectorant, Armor All, any of that crap. And there's a reason that I don't use it. All of those products have their place, but putting it on a rubber tire is not the place. And what you want to do with these tires is keep them washed, keep them clean, and don't put all that fancy shiny crap on your tires. All you're going to do is the tires are going to soak that crap up, and it's going to start to degrade the rubber on the tires, and you're going to start having cracking and everything. And you can read every one of these so-called product reviews, and again, 303 is some really good stuff, but it don't go on tires. I don't care what they say, and it's junk when it comes to putting it on tires. I've used it once years ago on motorcycle tires, and it cracked the tires from one end to the other. So nothing goes on my tires. And I would highly recommend that you don't put that crap on your tires. Use it in other areas, you know, your rubber molding and stuff like that, for your baggage doors, things like that. That's where you want to use 303. Use it on the J molding if you want to clean it up. Use it on your fender skirts, stuff like that. But keep it off the rubber on the tires. Buy yourself a set of these covers. I think I paid, I don't know, about 40 bucks for a set of 4. You'll have to measure your tire to determine what size covers you need. I like the individual ones. They make them to where it's one cover fits both tires, and I don't like that. I like the separate ones, but that's a personal choice. I'd also recommend that you buy the white cover and not the black or gray. The white is going to do a lot better job of reflecting the UV and reflecting the heat off of those tires. Heat and UV are killers on your tires, so there's a lot of discussion and thought. People are going to say, well, I've been using this and that on my tire. Okay, well, I'm just giving you my perspective. I'm 68 years old. I've been working on cars and stuff since I was, I don't know, 10 years old. And I can tell you what works on tires and what doesn't. But you can read all you want on the internet too, or you can watch my mundane videos and form your opinion. But if it was me, I would use the covers. Keep your tires washed, wax your wheels, keep them shiny, and keep your air pressure good. I'm running 105 psi cold in these tires now. I used to run 110, but I found I liked 105 better, and I didn't trade that much load capacity by dropping down 5 psi. It's this Alpine's the smallest one in the fleet, so I'm not real concerned about the weight on these tires. And that'll do it from Idaho today, and we'll get back with you maybe here in a week or two when it warms up a little more and I can get out here and do some suspension things, and maybe I can show you folks a thing or two to help you out down the road. Take care, we'll catch you later. And I just wanted to add a quick comment. If you noticed in the last clip of the videos there, you probably got a good look at my tires that I have on there. You'll notice that they're LT 235 by 85 by 16 14 ply G-rated tires. And the reason that my Alpine has an LT tire on it instead of an ST tire, which is what I recommend that you run. At the time that I bought these tires 7 years ago, ST G-rated tires had really not come to fruition yet. There were really only 2 good tires, what I consider to be good tires, on the market. My Alpine came with 10 ply E-rated Trailer King tires, which quite frankly I wouldn't have on my cart that I tow behind the riding lawnmower. So we yanked those tires off and put the Geostars on. Again, it's an LT rated tire. It's basically the same tire as the Goodyear G614, which is also an LT tire. They both had, at that time, they had a load rating of 3750. And then as the years went by in the RV industry, in the tire industry, they realized they needed better tires, and so they came out with the ST G-rated, F-rated and G-rated series tires. And of course there were several various manufacturers that came on the scene. Goodyear did not jump on the bandwagon. They stayed with the LT 235. It's a good tire, but they're about $400 or better now, and the load capacity on them is still only 3750. The tires that I'm going to put on the Alpine are the Salem S637 series, and I'm going right back with the 235 by 85 by 16 14 ply, and that will give me 4,400 pounds load capacity for each tire, which is way more than what the wheel itself is rated at. The wheel is only rated at 3750, and it's 110 psi wheel, but rated at 3750. There are wheels out there now for the RVs that are actually rated at 4,400 pounds to match the load capacity of these higher capacity ST 14 ply tires that are coming out. Again, I'm going to put the Salem series on. I would have liked to put the Hercules 901 on, but me and the local dealerships just couldn't come to agreement on the price that they wanted versus what I was willing to pay. The Salem S637 is a good tire, and so that's what I'm going to put on it. Yes, they did have an issue here a few months back with a batch of the tires, but quite frankly, I can't think of any tire manufacturer that hasn't had some sort of an issue over the years with their tires. I do think that Salem stepped up to the plate very quickly and has corrected their manufacturing process, and I have absolutely no qualms about going with the S637 series tire. So that's my. Just wanted to explain the tires. I'm sure some folks noticed that it said LT235, and before somebody jumps and says, "Oh my God, you're running an LT," yeah, I know what I'm running, and I'm running it for a reason. That's the only kind of tire they made back then with that kind of load capacity. The only other option back then was 10-ply tires, and they don't belong on any Alpine regardless of what year it was made in. Thankfully, Keystone pulled their head out of their behind and put a better tire on when they put the provider on. And then, quite frankly, I don't know what Keystone was thinking, and they went and put that stupid cheap Oracle high-spec tire on, which is a piece of crap. And if you have those Oracle high-spec tires on there and you haven't replaced them yet, I really wish you would. Otherwise, you're going to be posting pictures of the damage to your Alpine and asking how to fix it. So do yourself a favor. If you have those Oracle high-spec tires, take them off and go buy a quality tire. Either the Hercules 901 or the Salem S637 would be the two tires that I would be looking at if I was buying them.